if some random guy wants to buy the first 1 or 2 pieces from the gallery and he comes in and wants some discount, this is my firewall, you know. It's like, okay, why? What is your addition to the career of the artist?
There's always ways to see art without shelling money out of your pocket. Here you can easily forget that where you are.
Not what people would expect.
Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to the Art Seen Unseen podcast. I'm here with Patrik Steinhauser.
Hi Gabriel.
And my name is Gabriel Brockman. And we're here today to talk about art, as we always do, Today we're here at the lovely Danubiana Museum and Gallery here just outside of the city of Bratislava, technically still Bratislava.
They're like, what, 20 kilometers from Bratislava?
Yeah, it's about 20 kilometers. Yeah. You have to take a little bit roundabout path to get here.
Yes.
It's not the easiest place to get to.
Yeah.
There is a bus that does run out here, so there is public transportation, so it is available. There's, of course, taxi, and they've got parking on site. It's really stuck in the middle of the Danube River. It was purpose-built.
Yes.
And it's such a cool space.
Yeah, Gabriel, actually this is an interesting story. I mean, this museum was built about 20 years ago, and it's called Danubiana Meulensteen Museum, which is after the name of Mr. Meulensteen, a Dutch entrepreneur, businessman, philanthropist and big art collector. And he teamed up with the director, Mr. Polakovic. The story is also very interesting and funny. I don't want to go into that, but they share the passion for Van Gogh, both of them. And that's how they came together, from what I know. And then Mr. Meulensteen came here, and Mr. Polakovic just somehow showed him this place, and they fall in love, and that's what's the beginning of this.
It's easy to do. As I said, it was one of my first real exposures to Slovak art when I first moved here 15 years ago. And they were working on some annex. I can't remember which part they were working on at the moment, but yeah, the sculpture garden was established, and I think they were building the annex, the rotating annex at that time. But I remember, like, on the table they had the scale model of the architecture and stuff like that, and so even within the scope of my living here in this area. Seen it grow. It literally grow, and we came out here today, and we were like looking for places. And I thought we could see over these bushes, but like the garden is really.
And there is a huge amount of installations, sculpture installations on the top,
on the roof,
which is interesting as well, I think.
There's a path. You actually go up and you walk across, and they've got these sculptures. And then from up there, you can also get a different perspective. Here's actually the stairs coming down into the sculpture garden. You can see these rather large sculptures.
That's what we have said already in the previous episodes. I think. People from abroad, friends or interested people in Slovakia, they come here and they're, let's say, blown away, not only by Danubiana Meulensteen, also by Zoya Museum, which we already went to, and also some of the hidden gems in the city, and also Slovak National Gallery. I mean, you can think about it as you want, but the building or the reconstruction itself
was fabulous.
It's fabulous. Absolutely, looks like. Perfect. Everybody envies us for that.
Yeah, you like here. You can easily, as I said before, you can easily forget that where you are and think that you're in, Slovak Republic.
Not what people would expect. I would say.
Yeah, and we talked about that before. Like, well, why do you have that impression? And they're like, I don't know.
Bratislava, why?
And your wife Bonnie, she was like, why not?
Why not
have a gallery in Bratislava? There's really an outstanding environment for art here, and this is a lot of the reason why we started this podcast. And we liked to talk about the art that we see in these spaces. And a lot of the art that we do see happens to be in museums like this.
Yes.
So today we want to talk a lot about the importance of these establishments, these institutions, not just for society or the culture in the area, but for collectors. I think this is like the main point that we want to dive into today.
Unveiling a little bit.
Yeah. What does it
mysterious.
mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean to walk into a gallery and have one of your pieces in that gallery?
As a collector.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this is. It depends, of course, as we said before, what kind of museum it is. Is it a private-owned museum, or is it a state institution? If state institution, what kind of reputation does it have, and how many years? I mean, obviously, an institution in the UK, in London, is probably higher valued than an institution in Albania. Nothing against Albania; they have a great scene as well, a contemporary scene that needs to be explored even more. But you get my point, right? Yeah. I hope I'm not offending anybody here. But for a collector, it is like a Champions League. If you see, you are part of some sort of a Champions League aura, and you get your piece shown in a highly public space. You get this reputation for it. You get a publication in best case. Usually they, the museums always. Yep. So this means that your piece is getting nobilized even better, which means that...
Nobilization is something I don't think we've really talked about too much.
Right. We
talked about it's important to have provenance or, a paper trail. Behind your art, an invoice.
Well, the richer your provenance is, and the names on the provenance of that institutions or galleries or even owners, collectors, the higher valued it will be later in the secondary market when you want to sell it or resell it. And
it adds confidence to the purchase. It adds, weight to the significance of the artist.
Exactly, and the piece as well.
And that particular piece. And so we call this nobilization.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of promoting it.
So coming back to, is it important to lend part of your collection to institutions? And obviously there is a lot logistics behind that, because of course, there's always a risk that something happens with the piece.
Sure.
Even if it's insured, I mean, the insurance is going to pay you probably the value back, but you never get your piece back. Yeah. Even if you get let's say a broken piece, something happens to it, you have to restore it. It gets paid by the insurance or by whoever caused the problem, but the piece itself is already restored. And in the secondary market,
a restored piece
can be, not always, but can be lower valued because it's already restored. There is a retouch. Somebody after the death of this artist probably has retouched it, so another person. And sometimes it's even better to leave it in that so-called aged, let's say, state for the value. It depends on the piece. It depends on the epoch. It depends on the work
and how much
on the
damage.
Artist. How much damage? Yes, the percentage of that for sure. Yeah. But we've seen something like that pieces in the secondary market, as we deal with secondary market pieces as well, were over restored, and the market was not interested in that anymore. And
it was too much.
And the owner was like, "Yeah, but this is such an important piece." Yes, but you did a mistake with that. It's not the same piece anymore. Anyway, that's another topic. Yeah. A secondary market, I mentioned that, has completely different rules, I would say, than the primary market. We can go into that if we want, of course. But coming back to the museums, we as a gallery, we love to work with museums, museum shows. We love to show our artists, the artists we work with in museum shows worldwide, because it adds up, of course, on the value or of the reputation and the CV in artist's life. To exhibit in a good house, in a good museum, in a good renommee
it builds
institution.
The story. Yeah.
And then you have this publication, and all the collectors see your piece in the publication. They are getting even hotter for it, more itchy. It's a very easy to explain, psychological even turn or button you can push if you have the possibility to getting your piece and your work and your topic to a wider audience, and even curated and prepared from an art historian team on that level, from another, maybe a look from another angle. You know, it depends always, of course, on the story and the program you show your piece as an artist and as a collector. And then it's your decision as a collector if you would like to participate or not. There's also many collectors who say, I don't care. I know what I have. I don't want to take the risks. This is a piece that is or pieces that are very important to me. I'm never gonna let them, you know, and they are very private. I don't need anybody to see them even for whatever reasons. It can be very personal. Yeah. And this is legit. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But I think there is value in participating if you are a collector that has pieces that do find their way into curation, into national spaces, or even private gallery spaces with reputation. And I mean, as we've spoken in other podcasts, like just the experience, the event of going to a museum and experiencing something that catches you, can inform you later on in your development or your portfolio of pieces, your collection. And I mean, anytime you're networking, I think it's always a good thing. I think building networks within within other art collectors, within other galleries. Don't just find one gallery and only speak to that one gallery, because you'll kind of close off your
space.
Your mental space. Yeah. You won't be able to explore as art encourages you to do. Yeah.
I mean, it's surely another experience to go to a private gallery and go to a national state institution, museum, foundation, whatever you can call it. So it's, for me personally, it's the mix of both. I really love to go to museums. I really love to go to private galleries. The workflow or even the aura inside is very different to me. Maybe for some people it's not. But for me, being in that business is very different. And it's as a gallerist, as I said before, it's a very good mixture. Or you have to have this, for us at least, it's our signature with Steinhauser Gallery, to have the possibility and to open the possibilities to our artists to be a part of that machinery, I would say. And I mean, until the end of this year, we have 2 museum exhibitions that we are skin deep in the game. I would say one in Museum Kampa with one of our artists, Michal Milunovic from Belgrade and Paris. By the way, I fly to Belgrade tomorrow to see the pieces together with Bonnie in his studio, the new ones that we will choose with the curator Michal Stularek, who is a Slovak curator, a very good one. And then end of the year, there is this show in Hub. Hub is a foundation in Hungary, in Budapest, owned by a bank. So it's another sort of institution, very different, because Kampa Museum is state-owned in Prague, in Czech Republic.
Hub is private-owned.
It's owned by a bank. It's a foundation. Exactly. But they're doing a great job. Publications for every exhibition. Nice space on Andrassy út. It's the main street in Budapest. It's a 3-4 floor renovated old building.
One of the cool things here at Danubiana, they have posters of the rotating collectors. So they have a rotating collection. They have a permanent collection, and then they have a rotating collection. Usually 2 to 3 artists are in rotation.
Yes.
At any given time, and they have large size, I don't know, is it A2 or A1 size posters, and rubber bands at the door. You can just roll them up and you can take them home. I thought that was pretty cool, and we know a collector that obviously didn't buy the piece from here, but got a piece from an artist that was exhibited here, and they also have the poster from the exhibition of that artist, and they display both of those kind of with equal pride.
Really?
In their space, so it was kind of fun.
I hear it for the first time, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it was. They liked the space, they liked the exhibition, and that's what inspired them to buy the piece at a later point.
And it remembers them to that nice experience. That's what we talked about already. So they had
secondary market.
They had this 1 hour or whatever in there.
This moment in time.
This moment in the time.
Welcome back to the Art Seen Unseen podcast. We're talking about hidden gems. We're talking about museums that you don't expect sticking out of the middle of a river, the River Danube.
Yes.
Here at the Danubiana. My name is Gabriel, and I'm here with Patrik.
Hi.
We're talking about provenance, nobilization,
art collections,
what it means to have a piece in a collection like this. You always walk around the gallery and you see on loan from so and so, or this foundation donated to the museum.
Well, that's the other point for an artist and also for a gallery. If a gallerist is able to sell to a museum or an institution that is very important certain parts of an exhibition or certain pieces of an exhibition
into a permanent
collection,
cool. Yeah.
That's something that is going to be in the CV of the artist. It's this
to bring
kind
back
of
the sports analogy. It's like having the ring.
Exactly. So it's not only we talked about these collectors. Well, what does it mean for a collector, but also for an artist, and that's the job of a gallery as well. This is not an easy task. Obviously, there's a lot of galleries out there, but not every gallery is able to sell into a permanent collection of such size or a bank or whatever, So there is a lot of work that has to be done. Most of these museums, institution collections have, of course, a team of art historians, curators, collection managers.
They may even have a board of
Even there is even the state ones. There is political decisions that has to be considered. Board, as you said, for the banks, and there is even several steps you have to
checkpoints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cross
hoops to jump through.
Exactly.
Bureaucracy.
Exactly.
Which is not what you want to hear about when you're talking about art.
No. So it's way easier, to sell it to a private collector than to such an institution. That's what I want to say. But you get your sort.
Yeah.
With these sales and these purchases, and they are very important for every artist and for the gallery as well, because as a gallery you also build up your reputation by how strong your clientele is, and obviously this is the strongest clientele that you can have. Even though it's not the most monetary interesting, because a lot of these institutions require a certain discount, obviously, because they have a big name, and they obviously it's going to be good for your reputation as well.
It's a little give and take.
Exactly, and that's what I want to say.
This is what I love about these talks. Like we're talking about usual things, and then we're talking about the things that are generally unseen, which is why we added. If you saw our first podcast, we actually called it the Art Scene Podcast for about half the episode, and then we realized we were talking about things that were. That went unseen all the time. Hidden gems in countries where you don't expect them, like Bulgaria,
Albania.
Albania is crazy at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, there is an artist that was right now showing in Art Basel with Jesca Gallery. I don't know if I pronounce it right. It's a very good gallery with a very good program from Romania, and his name is Genti Corini.
Okay.
I really like him. I never worked with him. I don't owe any piece. I think we are following each other, but that's all.
That's our degree of separation.
Yes. But I have seen already a piece of him in the collection, in real, and definitely somebody to watch out for.
Super cool. Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of why we started talking. We started talking about these kind of less known areas. Okay, so if a piece is in a collection, maybe they didn't buy it for full price, or at the time in which they bought it, or acquired it, let's say. Yeah, it's interesting that you don't always know that. As a collector myself, I walk into the gallery tells me this is how much the piece is. I would never in a million years imagine asking for a discount, but it's not so uncommon. But it also puts you in a certain light, I would say, or you either are exchanging something of value for that discount.
Well, the more you think that you are a valuable collector with a high value collection, the more the more I think your I don't know what you call it in English. We call it your chutzpah, your cojones are going to be bigger, asking for such a discount. But of course, there is a red line that shouldn't be crossed. At least we have that. I don't know if other galleries have that.
I think this is okay. And I think this is obviously between the collector and the gallery.
Exactly.
I mean, every business has a margin. That's how a business operates, and that's what's necessary for a business to continue operating. Is you have to make a profit on your activities as a business.
Yes.
And so there's always some margin in there, and but I certainly don't expect it as a collector, and I tend not to think in those terms either, because I'm more towards living artist collection, and I think that for me it's almost as important to get a good price on the art as it is to show that there is a price for that art. You know what I mean? Like to help establish that price for the art. And so in always seeking a discount, maybe you'll get a better price. But I think if everybody else is also doing the same thing, then that will become the new selling price. You know,
exactly.
Like
that's absolutely what you say, Gabriel. So I think a good gallerist should be also some sort of a firewall for an artist and for that topic. Obviously, for a good collector that is buying on a regular basis or has a huge reputation, we don't have to talk about that. We can, of course, sit down and see discreetly between, made to measure between us, what can be done for you that you are happy, and we still are happy as well with the artist. But if some random guy wants to buy the first one or two pieces from the gallery and he comes in and wants some discount, I mean, then this is my firewall. It's like, okay, why? Okay, what is your addition to the career of the artist? What is your...
And are you collecting for posterity, or are you collecting just to
what is your future idea about yourself interacting with the gallerist and the gallery? Like, are you... are we talking now about, okay, every exhibition, I want to have 2-3 pieces from the exhibition, and of course we're gonna, I mean, that's business. Of course, nobody's gonna say no about that, but it has to make sense for all parties, and then I think everybody's happy and everything is fine. But as you say, it's business. It's in the end, it's a sort of a product. Sorry, it sounds hard, but it is how it is.
Well, it's not romantic.
No, it's not romantic at all. But this is the truth, and we are unveiling that. And it has certain market. There are certain market behaviors that are common to any other market, I would say. And this is how it is.
I think this is kind of maybe a small but important distinction between investment in art and investment in, say, a stock portfolio.
Right.
Because a stock portfolio, just by you buying stocks, has very minimal impact, especially if you're, 0.5% or, of the total stock of the company, which is quite frequent. You don't buy, most investors don't go in and buy 30% of a company, like not in the stock market, not in the stock
market, no. Private equity, maybe.
In private equity, fine. In VC, sure. But as an investment portfolio, investing in stocks, you diversify your portfolio, you move it around, you sell when it's hot, when it's going up, and you buy when it's going down, to try and make profit.
Yes.
With art, I kind of don't see it so much that way, because I think every sale in an art has impact on the art. For its future, the other art surrounding it, both the artist's collection, the art in that genre, in that region, in that area. And so every little input into the sale or acquisition of art has quite a big impact.
It has. It has.
And that's why we're talking about the institutions. When institutions acquire it and it becomes nobilized or it starts getting its bona fides, you know, then it changes the game.
For the artist.
And it's important for galleries and museums to do this responsibly as well. I think we were talking in a different episode about NFT art and how misused that was as a tool. And it was quite easy to inflate the value of something really quickly because of the nature of that market and the speed at which it was moving, and then to basically rug pull. This is kind of a, you know.
But there is also another point about that which just comes to my mind. You know, there is a story which is documented, so it's not just a story. It happened that Edvard Munch himself was, for a certain amount of time in his life, in Prague, in Czech Republic, or for a visit, and he donated to the National Gallery one of his self-portraits. I mean, there is different self-portraits, some with these hands, some without, and different papers, paper quality. I don't know how many in total, maybe 12, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say anything wrong. And this now in the auction market or in the secondary market depends on the paper quality and on the condition of the piece, and it has these hands, or if it's just a plain portrait, but they're all the same size. They go between 80 to 150,000. So I mean, the people of Czech Republic are richer because this guy decided to donate this piece to a national institution. So there is first of all, there were surely possibilities to see the piece in exhibitions. That's number one benefit that they have, that they can see a real piece done by, even though it's a lithography but done by the artist. And second thing is that this institution has a real monetary value in nowadays market terms. And that's another point that, you know, is also on the other side. When institutions are buying, they are looking pretty much the same like a private collector about these factors. Okay, where does it fit our collection or collector's concept or topic, what we would like to collect? First of all, that's very important. That's why the curators are there. But the second part is, okay, what is the possibilities that, you know, are given with this living or even non-living artists, because you can even buy undervalued from a default collection, or a private collector has his age, has no hairs, and donates this a whole collection of several millions or whatever, even more, to an institution. This happens quite a lot. It has also some monetary.
You have the legacy,
the tax
impetus at the end of life. You know, you're like, okay, what is?
Yes. So many different topics or angles we can jump in and you know and visit or revisit them and examine. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Art Scene Unseen. We're here at the Danubiana Meulensteen Art Museum. It's such a wonderful place in the middle of the Danube. It was purpose-built. We got the river running by on either side of us.
Right.
I don't think I've had a more relaxing conversation, even though all of our conversations are pretty chill.
Yes.
But the vibe here is really, really nice. And it is one of those hidden gems that people don't expect, or when we take them here from our family, our friends.
Yes.
We're talking about the importance of institutions, and I kind of want to dial into what the difference is between, you know, a museum, a gallery, maybe a private collection that's publicly exposed, like Nadbalka, for example. It's a private collection, but the public can go and visit it. There are museums that are basically entirely owned by one entity or collector, and then they charge admission to come and see it. What do you see as the main difference between these things, and And you, as a gallerist,
Yeah.
you're kind of in the middle of this question.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Nedbalka, which is in the middle of Old Town, Stare Mesto, actually maybe 3 minutes foot by feet from our gallery. And this is private collectors that have their own collection, which is mainly modern Slovak art. And they decided at one point they would like to build a museum and let the public
First
see.
of all, what a cool idea.
Yeah.
Something maybe someday we'll be able to do.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's top
dream,
top
yeah.
aim. Yeah.
Yeah.
but the main difference between a bigger collection and a meaningful collection is the decision if the collector has decided to keep it for himself, herself, or if he or she has decided to show the pieces publicly and see the feedback. That would be the difference, number one. So we speak about a private collector and a private collector with a private museum. This private museum can have a permanent collection. They can even do their own shows every 3 to 6 months. We see this in Zoya, for example. And then there is a big difference between a private museum or institution and a state-owned institution, because first of all, the budgets are coming from the state, from the taxes of all of us. So we require some culture. We require we as the people, I would say, to have the space, the possibility to
express
yourself, exactly, express, and also to identify, educate ourselves. Even that was the word I was looking for. And so it has a little bit another purpose, but in the end it's also a sort of a business, because this costs money. It has a running machinery, so they have to refinance themselves with entrance, because a private museum doesn't need to take entrance. They do sometimes, sometimes they don't, but the state-owned institutions, they always do.
But if they don't, they also can probably write something off on taxes. So it's like, do you take in cash or do you write off? Yeah. So there are definitely financially viable roads for private collections to go in, where it benefits them financially, either by taking in revenue.
Yes.
There's this crazy place.
And there's private galleries. You forgot about that. That's that's what we all know, and that's the companies that run a business, and you can buy your pieces from.
There's this crazy place in Wisconsin where I'm from.
Yeah.
Called the House on the Rock, and it was inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright, who is this very well-known architect, and he grew up in that region, and you basically drive around that countryside and see his architectures all over the place. But this place was it was supposedly built on a ley line, where mystical energies converge, and he started building it. And very crazy guy, very eccentric. Maybe crazy is not the right word. Very interesting.
I like eccentric people.
Eccentric, very eccentric.
Sometimes.
Collections of all manner, and he started building up here, and people could see it from down, and they would come up and like, "What are you building?" And he really crazy stuff. He had like this hallway that goes to a point, with a small window at the end of it, and it just out suspended, and it wobbles. And why would you build that? And these underground areas and underground villages. There's like a whole village, like a European-looking village. And he started charging admission, just a quarter to come see it, because he was taking his time to, instead of building it, to show them around.
It's legit, I think.
And
absolutely.
And now it's a common stay tourist
Look,
attraction.
I've had this conversation with one of my artists, Michal Milunovic, that I will see tomorrow in Belgrade. Meet him. And there is sometimes the belief that art should be public and cost nothing.
Yeah, we've talked this.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
I remember. So that would draw this question. I mean, how much are you willing to pay to see an exhibition XY, and is it well invested money? And that's something very subjective for everybody. I mean, everybody has to decide for him and herself if I give these 10 euros to the museum and I have a nice time in there, or I go with friends and drink a beer or whatever, and have a nice time as well. But it's certainly not the same nice time,
Yeah. And I think a lot of these, let's say, institutions, whether they're public or private, they have open. If they do charge for admission, they'll have open to the public days. I know SNG, Slovak Národní Gallery, has days, or even, I think they had even a month where they were open, completely free for the public. This was after the renovation. So there's always ways to see art without shelling money out of your pocket. And I think this is kind of one of the spaces where I find the most enjoyment. You know, it's just stumbling upon something in a garden that you didn't have to pay for, which is pretty cool.
But I had the same experience like you when I came here to Bratislava for the first time on a regular basis in 2013. I think this was my first museum or art space I've been visiting, first by myself and then with my parents even, because I wanted to show them, guys, look at this.
Instantly, you know, check it out.
And
we're not crazy for starting a gallery here. They have a museum.
I was not thinking about starting a gallery back then. You know, I was just interested in art myself, you know, and I was very interested in back then in Slovak art. Like I wanted to know. I bought some books about modern art. You know, all these names.
I still find conversations with Slovaks where I run circles around them with Slovak artists.
Yes,
and they're like, what the heck? How do you know this? How are you aware of this artist? He was from like Renaissance era. I was like, oh yeah, but like you know, he was in Soga and like Soga is auction house here in Slovakia, which is also another which we haven't spoken about really
think so,
much.
No, not so much.
But it is also a point of validation, nobilization. Which also maybe we should stick into this.
And we've both already got something from this auction house in our own collections, right? Slovak artists.
Slovak artists from Soga during we got ours during a charity auction. They have a charity auction every year.
Same for me.
Yeah. So not only do we feel good about it, but we added another or added a piece to an artist that we already have in our collection. It felt really good, and it's also kind of fun to be in that space because you know, when you're raising that paddle for the first time, man, like the I'm
an eBay kid, I have to say. You know, I started my eBay account in 2003, I think.
With records, right?
Yeah, with records, vinyl, you know. So this thrill of the last minutes and seconds of an auction before it ends, and your own strategy. How to bid and everything. I mean, that's on another level, and it's an experience, I would say. And I like auctions, art auctions, because it is so different to what we do, you know, and that's all.
But we've gone to auctions as well, and we're like, okay, we would bid on this piece at a certain price, and then it goes explosion, and we're like, well, if we had the opportunity to buy that piece at that price, we were right. But, you know, this in our thinking, we're like.
But do you do it? Going there, or do you also participate in the online auctions yourself? Because I personally, I don't participate in the online auctions.
No, we've never done the online.
Me neither.
We did consider it at one point because we were out of the city at the time, but in the end, we let it go.
So it's more about the happening for you as well, right? Going there,
I think
seeing the auctionator with the hammer and everything.
I mean, and they do a great job. In that auction house, they have a really nice candor as an auctioneer. A lot of people in their mind, they have this kind of really cold, stale, or really fat. It's not slower. But I would say it's more intimate. The way they set it up, the way they engage with the audience. I guess it is an audience. I mean,
right.
And I think it's if you go, we say, oh, I would bid on this if I had the funds. This is within my budget, or these pieces are within my budget, so I will take this. For this price, I can't go above this, but you know, we'll wait, see if anybody bids, and then we'll bid. You know, to see if just knock out the low-hanging fruit.
Myself, I would really like to go to Hong Kong, to Philips, or all these bigger houses that have these contemporary auctions. several times per year, and that one it's definitely on my list to do. I would like to do that just to see the the whole aura there and how it goes and everything.
We got a friend flying overhead.
Right, a Cessna. Yeah. So that's another world, I would say. It's the same. It's all again about art, but it has another, how you say, ingredients even and aspects. Yes, of
perspective
as well.
Different elements going into it, different elements coming out of it.
But they have to do the same job. They have to do the provenance, these curators and directors. The condition reports have to be done. So it's basically a part of the same machinery. But
okay, so I think we have a topic for a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
This interrelationship between art entities, between galleries, between museums, between private collectors, between private collectors with public spaces, with museums, and auction houses, both online and in person. Thank you for joining us for another Art Seen Unseen podcast. My name is Gabriel Brockman. This is Patrik Steinhauser. Behind the camera, we have Marek Bartovich. He's our wonderful producer in all things technical. Thank you for joining us. Find us wherever podcasts are found and check out our other episodes. We should have a few loaded up there or coming soon. Really appreciate you joining us and hope to see you in the next one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrik.
Thanks, Gabriel.
Thank you, Marek.